Welcome to Macrocode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our documents management system. So this is where we build real solution, and we are actually going to ensure that we provide a complete solution that are going to manage documents. You are able to share documents, do version control, and everything related to documents management. So as you can see here, we have our application. So for those who are new to this channel, so we have our app settings where we are storing our database connection. So on our database, we have our server. We are connecting this to SQL Server, and you can see here we have our SQL Server. We have our ASP.NET users. We have our ASP.NET roles. So what we did is we were able to connect that, but also there is something that we did. So we have our program.cs. We were able to add, extend our application user. You can see identity. We also extended our roles. Then we created our roles section. So we have the index, which actually displays the list of all the roles in our application. Then we were also able to add a role to our app. Then we also have system users. So we have a list of users, so we can retrieve the list of users from our database. Then we also have our create page where you can create a user to the system. So we also created system code details where we added options that we are going to see in the next few minutes. So we have a user system code. So this system code stores the grouping of gender, that is either male and female. Then this actually stores the gender. Then we have the system code details, which stores the female and male. So some of the options that we are going to see going forward will be drop downs from this particular table. So we are not coding anything. Instead, we just having this. For example, for those who are watching for the first time, we said that this table will be storing options like female, male. For example, if you are storing something like, we have different options. For example, education level, you can store all those on this particular table instead of just coding them. Then we have the user activity. For the user activity, we said we are going to track all the details that the user performs. And mainly, this will be if you create a record or even do something on the system, then we need to know what has been done and who created that particular record. That's why we have all this, and you can see it is linking back to our application user. Now, what I want us to do is I want us to proceed and do something. So if we try to launch our app, we realized that yesterday, I think we were not able to address something. So there was an error when we tried to launch our application. So we just launched the app. It will give us a particular error. Let me just check. So it actually, so there was something here. So let me just go back to our app. Or we fixed it. So let me just check. So my app is hanging a little bit. So for those who are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider subscribing and also like the video. So let me just stop this. So I'll just stop our app here. So in a minute. My app has freezed. Let me just close it. So let me just close it. As you can see, we have our, so if we go to our program.cs, remember we are adding business, builder.services, add identity, then we have application user, application role. Then we have this. I think when we added our add identity fields, you remember these particular pages? So we should be able to remove this. Then we just retain this. So we should not be using add default identity, but add identity. Then for our register, you can see we can register a user. We have these pages. So that's fine. So if I just launch the app, then we should be able to see the register page and also the login page. So there we go. So our app is launching. So you can see here we have our home, we have our system users. So if you click system users, then you should see the list of users. So as you can see here, so this is the list of users that we have. So here we go to system roles. So we see system roles. And yesterday we were able to create a role. For example, here we can say here finance director. Then we can say here this is finance director. So if we just create this particular role, then we'll have our role here. So you can see we have our finance director. Then for the system users, you can also create a new user. And we added some of these fields that you see here. So we were able to add this. So today I want us to do something interesting. So if we go to register, so let me just go back here. So if we click register, you'll get an error. So you can see it is saying an email sender. So that means our page wants us to ensure we have our email sender. So you notice that when we are creating our video for the first time, we could register a user, but we could not send an email. So if we come back to our, so let's stop the app. If you go to register, you realize that we have something called email sender here. So what we need to do, I'll just create a folder. So we have a folder, create a folder here called services. Then I'll create a service implementing the sender. So I'll just create here, I'll call it email sender. So that is our email sender. Then this email sender, we said it is implementing email sender, and this one should be from email sender services. Then here I'll have my constructor. There we go. Then I can, if you click over here, you'll see actually you can do something here we call implement. So you see here, if I click implement interface, then it will add a method for me to send email. So you can see this, but for now I'll not do anything with it. So I'll just go back to our program.cs. I'll go back to our program.cs. Then on our program.cs, I'll add, I'll come here and say, I'll do here builder.services. Then I'll do .add transient. Then I'll provide my sender, my interface, email sender. Then I'll also put in my service. So I'll say this is email sender. So then here I can actually import that, then that should be fine. So if I relaunch our app, then we should be able to see the register page and the login page. So that's the first thing that we should check. So let's just launch. Go to our register. You'll see it is now able to open, and we can, if we click login, we can see our login page. So our app currently looks a bit boring, but we are going to ensure that we are going to change this particular app. So if you want to see how we are going to do that, we are going to change our login screen to look something like this. So I want you guys, if you are following, we are going to change our app to look into this particular screen. So this is a template, and we are going to change our app to follow this particular template. So currently our app looks like this, which is, it's not looking good, even if you see it. So, and even for the system roles, we are going even to have our admin panel. We are going to borrow from what we have here. You can see this is our login screen. So we are going to change that to this particular login screen and even register page. Now, but before we go there, I want us to remember yesterday we created a few things. So we were able to add our system code and then system code details. So if you go to our index, that is the views and shared layout, then under layout, then we can still add. Remember we scaffolded yesterday our system code details and system code codes controllers, and we have them here. So you see this, we have our system codes, details controller, and even the system codes controller. So I want us to add those two to our navigation menu. So if you go to the layout, after the roles, I'll just add two things. I'll add the system codes. And these will be indexed. Then we can say system codes. Then I'll also copy and add the system code details. So ensure that the controller name is actually the same as what we have here, and you don't paste the full name. We remove the word controller. We just have the first system code details. Then you remove the word controller. Same case, we are doing index. Then here, this should be system code details. So after doing that, remember yesterday we just scaffolded our app. We scaffolded this, and all this code was added for us. So we did not actually add them. So what we want to do is, if you go to system code details, we also scaffolded this and it was added to our application. So we did not do anything much. So I want us to go to our system code and we can decorate this. So you can say here display. Then we can say this is system code, or we can call it a code. Then you can just call this code system code name description. You can call it, or you can just call it description. Let's call it code, and this is code name. So then if we got the same thing, we go to the system code details as well. We can have this, and this one we can call system code. Remember, this is a foreign key, and it is getting the value from the system code. Then here we can say this is code, and then we can call this code name. Can call this code name. So that is it. So if we launch our app, we should now be able to access our system code and system code details. So I think that's one thing that you should ensure you check. So I want us to go back. So let's just go to our application, and you can see here we now have system codes. If you click on it, it will take us to this particular index, and this index is actually what we scaffolded. So we did not add these particular details, and we did not do anything to it. Now, if you go to system code details, it is actually the same thing. Now I want us to do something. So you see this page looks a bit boring, and if you click create, you'll get all these details here. So I want us to go back to our code. Then on our application, under system codes, you'll just go to index. Then here we'll call these system codes. Then that system code, we should actually come and do something else. So if we remove this, we can say add new. Just call it add new. Then this one, you can make this a button. So we can add a class. We say btn. Then here we can say primary. So this is our button, and here I'll remove this. So then here I'll also change this. So I just want system code description created on and created by. I can remove these others like modified on. I don't care about it. Then I can say here edit. I can also change this to details, or I can call it view. Then I can also have here, our delete. So remember, we had added some of these details on index for users, and we have our buttons. So you remember these three buttons? So you can do the same. So we'll just copy that and go to our index page. Then I'll just paste it here. So we have edit, delete, and view. So it was edit, delete, and view. So if I just do that, then we can do the same for system codes. I'll go to index page. I'll remove this and I call this system codes. So I think this one was system code details, system code details. So then if we go to this index page, I'll copy the same thing, or I can even borrow what we have here. I'll copy this and I can paste it here. So this is the button. So add new. Then we don't need the modified on and modified by. So I'll say this is edit. I'll zoom it a bit so that you're able to see it. I'll also say this is we have this is as view. Then you can say this is delete. Then we have our buttons here. So I'll remove this. I can borrow from what we now have here, these particular buttons here. I'll just come here and replace this. So as you can see, we now have our buttons. So if we launch our app, we should be having now kind of a good screen. So if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed and you're watching our series, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So you notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider subscribing, like the video. So here we have our system codes, and you can see we now have our button. We have the add new, and this is our display. So you can see created by is the word created on, and created by is one word. So I want us to separate this to make it look good. So that is under user activity. So I'll come here and say display. So we'll say here display. We are doing here what we call annotation. So we'll say this is created on, and here we can say this is created by. Then we can say this is also modified on. I'll just copy this and then put in some spacing. So that's what I want us to view instead of just having one word. I'll say this is modified by. So if I just launch the app, I'll just launch the app, then I should be able to see the details as we've just changed. And that's how you decorate. So if you go to our system codes, then we should see, you can see here we have code name, created on, created by, edit. So created by here, it is actually, I think we need to also decorate this. Or we can even change. Instead of doing this, you can come to our index page, that is system codes. Then we should actually display, created by this ID. So that's what we should be displaying. Then if we come to index, we can do the same. We can do this. So if I auto-load my app, then it will change. So you can see we have created by, created on, and all that. Now, when you create a new form, you want to add our system codes. So you realize that we have the code, name, created on, created by, all these details. But when we are creating a form, we don't usually provide the user or select the user who is logged in. So this is not the case. So for this particular case, we should actually not be doing this. These are actually system generated things. So we should remove this from our form. So we go to our created on, that is our action. So I'll stop our app. And here, if I zoom it, so here I'll do MD12. Then I can do actually here div row, div class. I'll do here row. Then this one I'll come back here and save this, format my app. Then if I go back, I'll do here call MD6. So I want this to be into rows, columns, I mean. Then I can remove the other details. For example, created on and created by, modified on and modified by. I don't need it. Then I have description. I have system code ID. So that's okay. So I can do this. I can decorate it here. And I can decorate it here. So that's one. So let's do the same for I can also go back to our system codes create. I'll also do here 12. Then this one I can say here div class row, div class. Then I can do here row. Then I can close this. Then here I can cut that and close it down here. So that's it. Then if I go back here, I can do this is core, do here core md 6. Then I can paste this, the same case I do here. Then I don't need the created on, created by, modified on. This should be added in the backend. So you should not be allowing users to select that. So that is, then here I'll call this system add new system code. Then this should be add new system code. Then same case to our system code details. So I'll say add new system code, this system code detail. I'll remove this. Then my title also will be sorry, I need to leave this here. So that's fine. So if I just launch our app now, we should be having our form, and we will not be having now the created on, modified by, and all those things in our form. So we should have removed it. But if we go to system codes, we will see our view page. Then if we say add new, you see we have the add new system code and new code. So if I just say here gender, say here this is, I'll call this, so here I'll call this gender, and I can call this code name, I'll call it gender. So if I say create, so what has happened? So if you go to our app, if you try to create it, you'll find that nothing is happening. So you can see it is tapped. So there is validation that is being done. So here, if you go to system codes, and we need to go directly to our create action here. What I want us to do here, I want us to do some things. I want us to remove this bind here. Then I want us to leave system code. Then here, I want us to remove remove this particular model ID, is model, comment that out, then remove the modified on, and also modified these view data. So I want you to remove this. You see this? Remove it. Then we are just left with this. Now, on our system code, I want us to do one thing. Whenever we are adding our data, we do system code.create on, it should be date time. So that should be automatically timestamp from the system. So we should not allow users to do that. So for the users, I'll show you how we are going to get a logged in user. But for now, let's just I'll just remove this. So we just have this return, this save changes, and do that in a simple way. So we don't have all those. So because we are creating, we don't have to update our modified by. So let's just launch our app and see. So remember, you also have created by ID, and I'll show you how we are going to get a logged in user. So if we launch our app, go to system codes, then add new. So if we say this is gender, then this is gender. I'll say here create. Then you can see here it is telling us there is something that is null, and that is created by. So we are not allowing null values to our application user. So for now, I want us, so I'll just take here a user ID here. I'll take a user ID, but in case we can actually look for a user, see a way on how you can get a logged in user. So there is a way on how we can actually retrieve that. So one thing that I want us to do is let's just go back to our application here. So I want us to get so here. I'll just come here and you can say system. So for now, I'll just let me just add code it. So I'll just give it a value. So let me just do this, and here I'll get the user ID, and this is the user ID. So I'll get the user ID, then I paste it here. So if I do this, we should be able to insert our system code ID. So let's just see how that works. So that helps us now to create our user, and we should now be able to, so if we go there, then we say system codes, add new, then we say gender, and this is gender, then create. So we also have another thing. You see here we have modified by is not nullable. Now, if you go to system codes, a record can be created, but it might not be modified. So that means modified on and modified by should be nullable. That's one thing that we need to do. So how do we do that? We go to our fields, system code, then user activity. You see here, these values are not nullable. So I'll just put here that, and I'll do that as well. So I'll also do this, and that will allow these fields to be nullable. Remember, whenever you do this kind of changes, you need to update the database. And how do you do that? You go to tools. So I'll just go to tools. You get package manager console. Then I'll just clear what we have. Then I'll say add migration. Then I'll say here user activity updates. So if I just press enter, that is my migration file name. It will be generated, and we can update our tables just to ensure that modified by and modified on are actually nullable fields. So there we go. We have our system codes. You see modified on, modified by, and I think we also have something wrong with these particular fields. Then we'll see what we need to do there. I'll remove some of these fields for SPNet users. We remain with only the system code details. So you can see here, we have our alter table, modified on, modified by, modified on, modified by. Then we have modified on, modified by, that one. So we just go back here and we say update database. So I'll just update the database, and it will update our columns to be nullable. So if all is well, then we should not be able to see any red line on these codes. So you can see everything is okay, and we are good to go. Now if we launch our app, we should now be able to create a system code. So there we go. I'll just come here, say system codes, add new, say gender, this is gender, create. You can see we have now our gender created on this timestamp, and we have the created by the ID that we just had coded. Then we have these particular buttons, but we have an issue here. Our buttons are way behind, others are in front. So what do we need to do? So let's just go to our index. Then we need to ensure that we align. So this is edit, view, delete. Then we have ding. So what is the issue then? We need to ensure that these buttons are aligned. So that means there is one thing that is not 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have this. This is the one that is causing that issue. So if we update that, go back to our app, then our button should be aligned. Let me just go back here. No, we have the modified on. So I'll also update. And you can see now our buttons are aligned. So you have edit, delete, and view. So you can add another, we say here, education level. But we don't, do we need even those kind of things, because we are building a document. So you can say here folder types. So remember, we are building EDMS folder type. So I'll call this is folder type. So if I just create, then you can see we have these options here. But now it is displaying created by as an ID. You don't need to display here ID. You can display the user who is actually doing this. So how do we do that? If we go to our app, you'll realize that created by is displaying ID. So you can change this to name. So here you can see we have a name, full name. We don't have full name. And in our users, we have first name, middle name, and last name. So you can see here we have first name, middle name, and last name. So you're not storing the full name. But what happens if we need to get the full name of the user? So what we need to do, we'll just go to our application user model. You can see this is our application user. So this is our application user, first name, middle name, last name, address, ethnicity, and we actually extended identity user. So for those who are new to this channel and you didn't see how we did that, so just watch some of our previous video and you'll be able to see. So this is how you extend the identity user. Now I want my full name and I have these three names. So how do we do that? So I'll just come here and say public, then string, then I'll just say full name. So I'll stop my app. Let me just stop my app. I'll say this is full name. Instead of get set, which will actually affect our table, we don't need to store full names in our database. So I'll just say, I'll do here equals, and I do here that. I do that, then I'll have my $sign at the start here. Then I can do this. So then I'll have my first name. I'll put it there. I'll copy all this, put some space, then put my middle name here. Copy this as well. And then I have a space and put my last name here. Then I close this. So this one doesn't affect our table, so we don't need to do migration. I'll just come here. And on our system code, instead of doing that, I'll put first full name, and it will actually give me full name. So I can do the same for system code details. So instead of, so I can also remove all this here. Then instead of this, I can do here full name. So that's fine. So let's launch our app and see. So if you're watching our episodes and you haven't subscribed, or you are live right now, so like the video, comment down below, tell us where you are watching us from, and we'll be happy to engage. So I'll just go to our system codes, and you realize that we now have our admin. So you can see the name. We now have admin macro code, admin macro code. So this is the user who is actually creating those things. Now we've done that. If we go to system codes, you can see you have the system code, the code name. So we can actually try, we can remove all this here. We don't need the system code. So I'll just go to index. I'll remove the system code. I'll also remove it here. So then if I just reload, I'll get, this will go away and I have my fields there. So if I just say add new, we'll see, you realize that, you remember our system code is borrowing from the system code detail is borrowing from the system codes. So our gender, what we added here, you see these ones? This is the two fields that we are getting, the drop downs that we are getting here. But now we can't tell. You see it is only displaying 3 and 4. So we don't know which one is gender, which one is folder types. So how do we change this? We need to display names instead of integers. So we'll just go to our system codes details, and we realize that on create here, you see on create, we have this view data. So we have the created by, which we don't need, modified by, we don't need, we can remove it. Then we are left with system code ID. So it is getting the values from the system codes. So we want the primary key, and what we are going to display, we don't want to display the ID. So system codes, if we go to system codes, we want to display something that we are able to tell. So you see, this is the description and this is the code. So you can actually display the description. So if we just put here description, and everywhere there is an ID, we put in description. So we come back here, we put here also description. So I'll also do away with created on. Everywhere there is an ID, I'll do description, and I can do away with created by and created on. We said we don't choose the users that are creating values. So we should actually get them from a logged in, that is the session. So I'll just do away here as well. Then I'll take description and put it here. So the same case, so that's fine, we've done all. So if I just relaunch our app, then we should be able to see the gender, that is the description, instead of just doing the IDs, the integers. So let's just go back to our app, and I'll go back here to system code details. So on our system code details, I'll choose add. So on add, I'll go to, you can see now on system codes, you are able to see the folder name and also folder type. So this is the drop downs. So if you come back to our create, remember on create, we need to also do some things. So create, we can remove this binding. So the same case we removed. So we are going to show you how you can enhance this. So for now, I'll just remove that. I'll remove the model valid. I'll also remove this. Sorry, let me just do this. So instead of doing all that is removing all those values, we can actually do a different way. So I can come here and I can say system code. I can do a system code dot. I can say a model step. Then I can do remove. Then I can do something like this. So I'll remove created by, and I can also remove. So I don't want it to be validated. And I can also remove the modified by. So then here I can do this. I can say here dot created by ID. I can put in the value that we just had coded. I'll just come here. So we'll remove this ad coding, guys. So don't think we are going to stay with it. So I'll just come here, and I'll put this here. Then we also have the timestamp. I'll say created on equals to date time. So this one dot now. So there's another way on which you can do. Instead of using the models, you can use the view models, and I will be showing you how to do that. So if I just do that, we don't need to remove our model step. So let's just proceed and see. I'll just launch our app, and we should now be able to create a system code detail. So if you are watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So I'll just go back to our system code details. Then on our system code details, I'll add new. Then on adding new, I'll select gender. Then I can say this is, I'll do here male. Then here I can say male. So if I say create, nothing is working. So let's put in here a value. Put in a breakpoint. Then if we say create, you can see our breakpoint is there. So we can actually get until is valid is true, then this value cannot be added. So if you check this is false, then it cannot be added, and you can get the issue. If you click on that, you can see the system code validation status is valid, system code ID is invalid, created by ID invalid, description is valid, and system code ID is valid. So this system code, we need to also remove it from what we have here. I'll just come here and I can remove it here. So what else is invalid? So there are two things that are invalid. So created by ID. So the created by ID is invalid. So then created, so we have, this is the created by. Why is it saying it's invalid? So we have our created by, and this is it. So we have created by, modified by, and modified system code. We just come here, say created. So I'll just say here created by. Is it a different thing? So I think that's the same thing. So let me just relaunch again, then we should see. So if we do that, then we should be able to get our app, and we should be able to see how to add the system codes. If we just go there, get to our add new, then select gender, say here male, this is male. If I say create, you realize that this is also still false. So let's see why is that false. You can see here we have created by ID is still not. So if we come here, we check created by ID, it has a value. But now I want us to remove one thing. So if we just come here and so this is we'll come here. We have our code which is valid, created by ID is invalid, description system code is valid. So why is it our created by ID is not valid? So I'll just come here and let me just check. We say created. How many created bys do we have here? So that's the challenge. So if I go here, we have system code, description. If I go to user activity, we have created by, modified by, and that is it. So let's go back to our ID. We have that. So we should remove this, and that should also remove the other details. If we just do here created by ID. So this is the user activity. I've assigned it a value. Then let me just try to see if it will be saved. So I can comment this here, and we can comment this. We see what will happen. So let's relaunch our app and see. So if it doesn't go through, then there is an issue there which we should actually address. Where I'm not seeing it. So let me just add. So if I add this gender, I do here male, then here male. If I say save, so these details, it should actually have, you see it has a created by. I don't know why it was saying it doesn't have. If we proceed, you see it has saved. So we have our male created by. So we can add another gender. Let me say here female. Then this is female. So if we say created, we should be having our create. So I think for now I'll just return my code, but we are going to change this. So we are going to change this to use view models. So if you want to know how this is going to work, just stay tuned and subscribe to our channel. So we are going to change how we are doing this. So most of you guys will get stuck when it comes to here. You don't know why it's not inserting and all those. It's mainly when you're doing the validation. So in fact, if you have a lot of relations that you've done in your models, then you'll get this particular challenge. Now, I want us to do something. I told you guys we are going to do something with our app. Instead of having this boring register, login, then we can do away with that, Then I want us to implement this. So I want us to change our app to look something like this, and even register to look something like this. So the first thing, this is my template. So if you have a template like admin LTE, so you can actually have a template like admin LTE. For those who are watching for the first time, you can have a bootstrap template that you can use. For example, let me just pick one. So you can have something like this. So if you have this template, so you can change our app to look something like this. You can have, these are free templates that you can download, and you can actually use it as we go through to build our app and ensure that we are able to move forward together. So you can see this, they have a lot of things that you can use here. For example, profile, we have calendar, we have forms where you have the buttons. You also have validation editors, some validations. We also have charts. You can see some of the good charts that we have here. But for me, I have my template here. So in case you have viewers, you can incorporate it. It doesn't harm. So this one you can download it. It's free, and you can use it. So the first thing that you need to do is to copy the assets. So I'll just copy my assets. I'll stop this. And I'll go to my www root, paste my assets here. I think I had added it, so I'll just replace. Then here we have various things so that are related to your template. So for me, I've just renamed it as assets, and I'll be referencing the styles from this one, images from there, JavaScript from there, all that. It will be within my assets folder. So you can see I've just retained the others which are actually outside my project. So I don't need to alter it. Now, let's go to our login screen. So the first thing that I want us to do is go to our index page. Then I want us to go to our login page. Where is it? Go to our login. So this is the page that I want us to change. So you see this particular page, I want us to change this particular page to reflect our screen. And what we have is, we want us to change this particular sign-in page to look something like this. So I want us to look something like this, to change it to something like this. And then the register page should look like this. So the first thing that we need to do is, I am going to copy some codes from my template. Then we can, so I'll just copy, then I'll come here and I'll paste it here. So this is my template. Actually, you can see this is the template. And if you come here, you see this is my styles. All these are my styles. Then we have the view imports, view start, error. That's fine. This is layout. I think we'll be able to see how we can make just within the layout. But for now, let's just copy it that way. Then you can see I've not replaced. I have this code that was there. The reason being, I want to use it. So I'll just come here for form ID. I'll replace it here. I'll just say that one. Then I can add my class. I don't want to do a lot of changes. So I'll just do that. Add my class. Then I'll also copy validation alerts. I'll have it somewhere here. I can add it here. So that is fine. Then you also have, you can see now the inputs. So it requires input for all these validations. So I'll just copy this, then we can reuse it. So then go to our form. You can see my form here is telling me this is the input. I want to add email. So let me copy this. So what we need to do for our input, we'll say input type. I'll put here input for. I'll put this one. Then you can see form control that radius, area required. I can actually have this. It's fine. So then for the label, I can do the same. So I can say my label, you see this is my label. I think I can leave the label, it doesn't harm. But for the validation, I can put it down here. So I'm replacing what was there with my template. So the same case, I'll copy for the password. I'll just copy that. Go where the password is. This is where it is. Try to mimic. So I'll just, so that you don't get lost. So this is the best way you can do it. So for the input, I'll just do type here. Then I'll say ask for input. Then I can say autocomplete. I can put it. I can say that is it. Then I can say error required. I can put it as well. Then for validation, I can also put it down here. Then I can remove this. Then the next thing I can also check. You can see I don't have anything. For my button, I have my ID. So ID login button. So let's check my button. So where is it? This is my submit button. So you can see sign in. So I can paste it here. And the type, I don't have to have duplicate, so I can retain that. Then I check on the others. Remember me, you can see this is what I have on remember me. I can also come back here. Do you have remember me? Yes, I have it here. I can just copy this. You can see this is input. You can see for remember me. So I can do here ID and I can say for remember me. Then display, I have my remember me there. That's okay. So that's fine. Then I can remove this. So is there anything that we've not transferred? Yes. So then we have our forgot password and register a new user. So for forgot password is just a page. You are redirecting it to the page. So let's just check. Do you have forget password? Yes. You can see this. So I'll just come here and do that. So ASP page, was it let's just confirm. Yes, it was this. Then register also, we can redirect it to our register. I'll just copy that, come to our don't have account. Then you see here we are telling them sign up. Then I just replace it. You see ASP page, register URL. This register is our page and we have it here. So which will going also to change how it looks. So the same case, you can see resend email confirmation. Do you need that? You don't need that. That can be done within the admin panel. So then I think that is all. So then I'll just minimize this and I can close it. So I'll just copy that. So let me check if I have my title. I think I have it. Then I can actually delete this now. But now before that, before doing anything else, I need to ensure that my styles are actually pointing to the correct section. So I need to have my styles pointing to the correct folder. So that's one thing that you need to check. So here on my styles here, I'll just put a tilde. So let me just have my tiled symbol. So I need to have here, say this, then do that. So here you can see we have our, that is our styles. I want us to go to roots, then assets, then CSS. So that is, so I'll just do the same here. Just paste this here, paste this here. For Bootstrap, I don't know that, so for now let me just leave it that way, but we'll be able to change that. Same case, I can do it here. I can do this and I can do this. So then let's try to launch our app and see if we are able to get this. So if I just launch our app, If our first page, our login page opens, then we are good. So if you are following our video until this particular point and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So I'll just go. You can see this is our page. If I click register, you see it has loaded our page. So this is our page, and you can see here it has loaded, but we don't have the icons. So if we go to our folders, we should get the icons somewhere here. So you see this is our folder. So let me update. We see if we are able to see you see it has loaded here. So if we go back to there was another image, here we have it. So I'll just put that, and we should be able to get our app. So let me just close this. If we update, there we go. So you can see we're now able to see our login screen. So our login screen is able to do this. But now there's something else. You see here it is showing us this particular navigation header, and we don't need it. We don't need that navigation header in our app. So I can just come here to our login screen, and I can say something. I can say here layout, and I can say here I don't want any layout. Just put there null. So if I just put null and update, my login screen, all those things will disappear. So you can see I am now able to launch my app, and everything has disappeared. So I now have my screen without the login, that is the system codes and all those things that you are able to see at the top. Now, that is the first thing that we've done. Now, we need to also do the same thing to register. So if we click register, you see it is taking us to the wrong page. That because we have not linked it. So let's just go to our register page, and we need to actually provide it with the details that we just provided. Now I'll go to our register page, which is under where is our register page? We'll find it under identity areas. Then identity, we have register. So I'll also copy the same thing that we've just done. I'll copy what I have here. Then I'll paste it here. Then you can transfer the same thing, the same way we've just done. So the good thing, we now have the login, which is working. So I'll just copy here, and I can paste it here. So instead of having this, we'll create a layout for the login section. So I'll just come here, and I'll do that. Then I'll go back here and do this again, do this. Then that's fine. So if you check, we also need to do the same for images. I'll just copy this and do the same here for images. There was another image. So this is another image. And once you have that, then let's go to our form. So you see register form, I'll copy it, come back here, I replace my form, and I'll just copy my style and have it here. I just want to ensure that it matches my template. Then we go back. What else do we need to copy? We need to copy the email address and things. So we need to copy this. So register, you see it needs an email address. So let's check on the email address. So we need just to say SP4, and that is on input. I'll just come here, put it on input. Then do we have anything that we need to copy? The same way we just did on our login page is the same way we are going to do here. So I'll just copy that and paste it here. There we go. Okay, then same case, let's see, we have the password. We'll just copy and come back here, see on our password, we need to replace it. I'll just come here and put it this way. So once we have that, on the password we can have autocomplete. It's okay. Just copy it here. Then that should be fine. Then we have our validation. I'll paste it inside here. Then I can remove this. The next thing is let's just confirm password. I don't know if we have it here on our template. Confirm password, enter password. No, we don't have the confirm password. So I'll just copy it. I duplicate this here. Then I can say confirm password. Then instead of doing this, I'll say input confirm. That is our ID. Then I'll also check the others. I'll also input confirm, just to make sure it has different IDs. Then we have here, instead of input.password, I'll say input.confirm password. Then everything remains the same. Then I can just do away with this. So that's just to confirm that we are implementing everything that was there. Then as you can see on register, we don't have, do we need anything else? See, confirm, login, we don't need anything else. Now I can clear this. So I'll just minimize that, clear it. I'll delete it, and then we retain with our page. Now you remember on our login screen, on our pages, we have the buttons for login and register at the top. So we need to reference those pages directly to our pages, to login and register. So the same way we did here, you see how we were referencing. Where is it? Here. You see we are doing ASP page / register. It's the same way we'll do here. I'll just come here and paste this. So same case to login page. You will look for this. See this page, instead of this particular URL which is invalid, we pasted that. Then this one also we can do the same thing, and we say login. So the same case on the register page, we'll just come here and do login. We'll do here login. So after doing that, I can relaunch our app and see. Let's just launch our app. So our app will be launched. Then we should be able to navigate now to our login screen and our registration page. I'll just come back here. If I click register, you see we are now going to our template. And remember at the top, what we did on our login page, we just come here and we say layout. And we do here null, but we'll be creating our layout for this particular page, so don't worry. I'll just do that and update our application. Then all those buttons will disappear at the top here, so our screen will look okay. So if you're following our video until this particular point and you haven't subscribed, just do us a favor by subscribing to our channel, and we will really appreciate. So tell us also where you are watching us from. Just comment down below and we'll be able to see your chat. So as you can see, we have our register. We have the name, email address, and even password, then confirm password. Then if we click login, then it is taking us back to our login. We have the email address and enter password. Now there is one thing that we need to do. When we launch our app, let me just show you guys. When we launch our app, it is taking us directly to home page, which is not the case. So that is a problem. So you see, it is taking us to the home page. But what we want to do on our application, we want to ensure that our app, you are able to don't access the dashboard before even being accessing the main page. So you should be able to ensure that whenever you just launch the app, it redirects you directly to the login screen. So how do we do that? So that's the big question. So the first thing that we need to do, we should actually ensure that we add what we call authentication and authorization. So you see, if you go to our app now, go back to our application, then go to program.cs. You see here we have authorization, but we don't have authentication. So this first thing that you need to be very careful when you are doing this here. So the first thing is, whenever there is authorization, authorization comes after authentication. So here you must authenticate someone before for you to authorize them. So here we have to have app.use authentication. So that's the first thing that you should actually know, and we should add that. Then the next thing that you should add on our app is we come here and we say builder.services.add authentication. So if we just do that, then we also need to add authorization, those two services, authorization. So once we have those two, then we are now good to proceed and launch our app. So if I just launch our app right now, it was taking us to the login screen. So let's just see where it will take us now. So if you proceed and launch our app, so there we go. You can see it is taking us to the still to the login screen, that is to the home page. So we need to change this. So we need to force this to ensure that whenever we launch our app, it is taking us to the login screen instead of home page. So the first thing that we need to do here, we've done authorization. So I want us also to say app.use session. So that's the first thing. We need to have that. We have our routing. We have HTTPS direct. So that's fine. Then we have our authorization and authentication. Then I also want us to add builder.services.add session. So you see this. So I want our app to we ensure that we are able to manage sessions, so that whenever you just launch our app without logging in, you should not see what is there in the dashboard without even getting authenticated. So that's the first thing that you should check. But now there is one thing that we should do. So if you go to our home page here, you see this is the index. So if we just launch right now, let's just launch and see. So it will take us to the, let's just launch. It will still take us to the home page. You can see it will still take us to the home page. So to enforce that, we'll come to our index page, which is the main page. And I say here, I'll say return. I'll say return. And I'll say here, user. I'll say user.identity. Then I say is authenticated. So if it's authenticated, then I say this dot redirect. I'll say this dot redirect. Then I can now redirect to our login page. And where is our login page? Is on the areas identity, then account, then login. So that's what we need to type here. So this will be identity, account, then login. But in case this guy is authenticated, then I can do a view and return my view here. So you see this line of code here? This is the magic. So this is the magic that happens. So we have a user identity is authenticated, then this redirect, then here. So if I just come to our page now and try to log in, then it will take us directly to the login page because we have not logged into our app. So that's the first thing that we should do. So you can see now, if I just launch our app, it is taking me to the login screen. So let me just relaunch again. I'll just come login, try to And you can see it is now taking us to the login screen and register. Still, I'm able to register, then back to the login screen. Now, if I try to log in now, I remember we had some credentials. So let's just go back to our users, and we can try to, I can try to use one account. So let me use this account. So I'll put in my email and I can put in my password. So let's put in a breakpoint to see if this is authenticating. So I'll just go to the login page. Go to the login page. Then on post here, I should check here. I should check here. So let me just post it. So I'll say post. So you can see we have our email, which we just provided, and also our password, which is just provided. So if we proceed, is it succeeded? It's false. So it is telling us it's false. So what is the issue? So let me just proceed. So you see our login could not be, it could not go on. They say, let me just, don't know which credentials I can use. Let me just use another one. Let me use that. So login, proceed. Yes, I think there is one thing that is not going on right here. So I think I forgot some of the credentials that we created yesterday, but we'll be able to create another account. So I want us to leave it there for today. So tomorrow we are going to register another account. And now, if you want us to see how our template, the dashboard on our template, stay tuned tomorrow. We are going to have redirect this application into our dashboard, which is something like this. So our dashboard will be looking something like this. So tomorrow we are going to ensure that we are able to log in, register a new account, and redirect this to our dashboard, which is looking like this. So for today, I want us to leave it there. If you are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, or you are watching our series and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like